guys, Tori here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a story time. Not a normal story time, and also not a normal video. This video is actually a collab with my friend Ash, and I will link their channel down below. So yeah, let's get on into the story time. So, the two stories I'm about to tell are paranormal experiences, and they are terrifying. At least they were absolutely horrifying for me. And please, please, please do not mess with Ouija boards, because it's insane what can happen. There are so many bad consequences that could happen. So please learn from my mistake and don't mess with the Ouija board. And I'll tell you about that here in a few seconds. So one time when I was 12, I was over at a friend's house, and I was hanging out with a friend, her brother, and two other friends. And we didn't know what to do. I think it was like 2 in the morning, and we were bored. Her parents were asleep. She asked us if we wanted to play with the Ouija board. Now, at the time, I didn't actually know what a Ouija board was. But they did, and they were all excited, so I was like, okay, sure, let's play. So we put our hands on the planchette, I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, and we asked it, is there anyone here in this room? And it went to yes. And of course, immediately, we were all just like, took our hands off the board, which you're not supposed to do, and we were all like, okay, who did it? Who moved the piece? Well, it was none of us who had actually moved it. So we put our hands back on the planchette, whatever, and we started asking it more questions, trying to figure out, like, if it was good or bad, if it was actually real. It ended up getting, like, completely out of control. Like, we lost control of the piece. We could not keep our hands on it. It was, like, spinning around the board. And it was terrifying. We had no idea what was happening. We just thought it was like part of the game. Keep in mind, I was 12, we were dumb. So we forced it down to stop and put it to goodbye. Well, sometimes that doesn't always work, and it doesn't always get rid of whatever you have attracted. We did not know what we were messing with when we started playing with this. It is not a toy. Please do not do what we did. So, it was a little later, I think it was like half an hour later, and her dog was whining and scratching at the door like it needed to go out. So, we all let it out, and we were like sitting by the door waiting for it to come back in. Well, you see, it started like crying and whining, and we were like, okay, what the hell? Like, what is going on? And so we went over to where we thought it was. Well, it wasn't there. And then we heard crying and whining again, but from the other side of the yard. So we went over there, and I had my flashlight on, and I think my friend, she had her flashlight on as well. And so we heard like a yelp, and then we didn't hear anything else. And so as we were walking, our flashlights, were pointed in front of us, and my friend's dog was dead on the ground. Its neck had been snapped, and it looked like something had scratched up its sides. It was horrifying. We ran inside screaming. We were so scared. Like, do not mess with the Ouija board. Like, it can do some, scary shit. Like, it was that bad. Like, I am still freaked out and refuse to touch a Ouija board. So, this second story dates back to actually, 4 weeks ago, I think. Maybe it was less than that. I'm not really sure. But, I have this issue where I cannot stay asleep. Like, I will constantly wake up through the night, and sometimes it gets so bad that it feels like I have not slept at all. Like, it gets horrible. And so when I woke up, at 3 in the morning, I didn't think anything of it other than the fact that my room was extremely cold and there was a heavy feeling on my chest. But I didn't think it was any different than when I normally wake up. But I was wrong. I sat up and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go get a drink. I'm sure it's fine. There was a weird feeling in my chest and I was like, okay, water, sure, that'll help. I'm probably just thirsty. Well, I looked over to the corner of my room where my door is, and I have a long mirror on my door. Well, right beside the mirror was a tall, lurking figure. I could not make out any features whatsoever, but it looked like an extremely tall person was standing in my room. An extremely tall and extremely skinny person. And it was terrifying. And it reached out towards me, and its hands were not hands. They were long and talon-like, and it was not okay. It scared me so bad. So what I did is I turned my MP3 on, had the music up really loud, put my headphones in, and turned to face the wall. Well, that's probably what antagonized it, because it started shaking me like it was trying to wake me up or something. But I was already awake. It shook me so that I would look at it. And I did. And I wish I hadn't, because all I saw was a gaping mouth, and it was, oh my god, it was horrifying. It was just stuck in a scream, and it was terrifying. I tried not to scream because I didn't want to wake anyone up in case they, ended up dealing with it too. So I turned my music up higher, grabbed one of my crystals, and, went back to bed like nothing happened. And when I woke up in the morning, there was nothing in my room. There was no trace of anything. Nothing was out of place. I don't know. It was not okay, and it was really terrifying. And it probably doesn't sound scary now that I've described it, but it was such a nerve-wracking thing to happen. Well, that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I did not enjoy either of those stories. But, I hope you guys get a kick out of it, or at least, learn from my mistakes to not mess with a Ouija board, or not to provoke evil, scary things in your room. So, yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my friend Ash's channel, because Ash is pretty great, and I think you'll like their channel. So, yeah, that's it, y'all. Ew. I can't believe I just said y'all. Anyways, bye, guys.